What's going on, Aces? Welcome back to the channel. This is the Real Housewives of Potomac recap for First Come, First Served. So it opens up with Ashley and Gizelle talking about their clothing line, child. The first thing I thought of, y'all, was Dwight from Real Housewives of Atlanta, where he said, "How dreadful. Okay, a fashion show with no fashions," because out of everybody on this show, Gizelle Bryant and Ashley Darby are the two least, okay? The two least fashionable people on the entire cast. Give me Wendy Osefo, Dr. Wendy. Give me Candace. Give me Karen. Somebody who can put together an ensemble who has some kind of fashion sense to come out with a clothing line, right? So they said it's called GNA for Gizelle and Ashley. And they said it was a cross between, Ashley said it was a cross between Lululemon and Rihanna, the Savage Fenty line. Okay, a few things, right? So Lululemon, I don't know if you guys have known or heard about it, but recently there were accusations and allegations, right? Everything is alleged that they were racist. Their founders were racist. And I mean, maybe that tracks. Maybe Ashley knew. I don't know. Gizelle, possibly, maybe Ashley, Robyn, but more so Gizelle. She's having a difficult time, beating these colorism accusations, especially since she has been icing out Candace and Wendy, which is sad. Just a side note, because her daughters are beautiful. And even in my last video, I said, despite how tacky and uncouth Gizelle Bryant is, she on camera seems like a very good mother to her daughters. If she is colorist, and I know quite a few, girls that I grew up with who, were darker skinned, chocolate, beautiful girls who had mothers who were fair skinned, light skinned, who were colorist. It's damaging to your psyche, And so Gizelle talking about, she met Karen at the Jack and Jill socialite events, right? So if you guys remember Jack and Jill, their whole brand is kind of, it goes along with passing the paper brown test, where they would put a brown paper bag up to your face. And if you were darker than the brown paper bag, you were not admitted to Jack and Jill. It was like this exclusive club. And it's heartbreaking because we get enough of that as Black folks, dealing with anti-Blackness from people from all different demographics. We don't need it within our own community as well. And unfortunately, that seems to be this prominent theme, right? It's just salient through every single season. I really feel like that's one of the reasons why she came for Monique so hard. She came for Candace, she came for Wendy. And Monique's not as dark as Candace and Wendy, but all of them are so much there. And I don't want to say like, because Gizelle is a beautiful woman, maybe like put together, right? Like all of them are married. Gizelle is not. All of them have great fashion sense. Like she tried to come from Monique, asking her about her home, and Monique clocked in and she replied and she said, "No, we have 4 homes," right? I feel like Gizelle, there is this underlying resentment with her that if she sees a woman, particularly a woman who is darker skinned than she is, have, the successful, loving, doting husband, more money, more, et cetera, than she's really resentful. And I feel like a lot of people are conditioned and socialized to feel like the lighter you are, the lighter your skin is, the less suffering, right, that you should have to endure. And that's a part of white supremacy and all that. I'm not going to go into that because I've studied all of this out for a very long time and experienced it myself, but it's just unfortunate that Gizelle and Ashley would base their athleisure line in the terms of Lululemon. And maybe Ashley just doesn't know. I feel like she's clueless about a lot of things. So anyway, that was my rant about Gizelle and Ashley. I feel like they should be doing anything else, child, other than a clothing line, because truly, and this is why I chose this picture, because what does Gizelle have on? The fuzzy slippers. And I know it's like a business meeting and stuff, but she does not, nothing about Gizelle says fashion or athletic wear. Like, at least like Ashley, I will say she is she's very fit. She's in great shape. However, this outfit that she has on, those pants are giving Golden Girl couch curtain supreme surprise. You know what I mean? Like, between the two of them, they have the fashion sense of one of Robyn's bedazzled, embroidered, embezzled, not embezzled, bedazzled hats. Isn't that the name of the line? I think so. Anyway, moving on, right? Speaking of Robyn, she meets with Mia and they are discussing, their whole situation with Mia talking about she might be getting a divorce. We already know Mia has another man. Robyn is never going to leave one, no matter how horribly he treats her. So, let's move on to one of my favorite couples, right? We have Wendy and Eddie. So they go to a Jamaican restaurant, and as Eddie, he said that he took the shade from the ladies on the show, calling him Happy Eddie, to now building a business, which I'm sure it's going to be pretty lucrative because, they're very smart, not only professionals, but business people. And Wendy, looking amazing in her red ensemble, by the way, her red dress, she's like, what am I going to tell my grandchildren, about weed? I mean, it's legal now, right? It's a legal plant. So even if it may have some, side effects, right? Whether it's a hallucinogen or not, it has been legalized by our country, Canada, and many places around the world. So I feel like that's what she could tell her grandkids. Speaking of weed, Karen bought her grandmother's house, which was amazing. And she met with her family, Val and her Val's son. And Karen said that she's thinking about, possibly growing, the herbal refreshments at that house in Surry. And she said that she told the ladies at the luncheon that Candace and her mom threw for Mother's Day. She said she's going to put all their names in a hat, and in that she couldn't invite the entire group for insurance purposes. Karen, I'm sorry, y'all. Karen cracks me up. And so she tells Ray she only put the names that she actually wanted to be at her, grandmother's estate in that hat, which is smart, right? Because the last thing you want, especially since she's trying to remodel her grandmother's estate, which holds, a really big significance to Karen. It's very sentimental for her. She was close with her grandmother, but also that was the land that her ancestors were enslaved on. And so you don't want people there that's going to disturb your peace. So I don't blame her. I would do the same thing, Karen. Okay, so Charisse comes over to Nneka's house, and are they going to bring back Charisse for a full-time champagne flute holder, or just she consistently going to be a friend of the show, because she just pops up like at the most random time. But they're over there drinking wine. She brings her flowers, which is really nice. And, Gizelle is over there. I would love to see Charisse come back full time. I feel like, instead of just seeing her pop up randomly, it will make more sense. And she's one of the few women that really gets along very well with Nneka. Like, they've grown close. They were showing, different shots of them being together and filming, different videos on their phone together. And so she really enjoys her company. And I feel like Nneka needs a she needs a friend, someone in her corner, someone that's going to back her up. I mean, the rest of the girls, with the exception of Wendy, are kind of indifferent to Nneka, just because, they've bonded and, they have their own cliques or whatever since they've been together for the past 8 years, 8 seasons. But I feel like bringing Charisse back full time would kind of give her, an ally in the situation. But anyway, you guys, let me know your thoughts on this week's not Married to Medicine. Y'all know I'm tired. Real Housewives of Potomac. I'm about to do Married to Medicine, that recap next. That's what I was thinking about. But yeah, let me know your thoughts on what's going on. What do you think about this week's episode of Real Housewives of Potomac? I mean, a lot of people were saying it's lackluster. And yeah, I mean, they're right. I agree. It's like Issa Rae said, like, yes, girl, give us nothing. Like, I just feel like I want them to, maybe bring Charisse on or bring some new people on, shake it up. Yeah, it's getting kind of lackluster. But you guys, let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Please be sure to like, share, and subscribe to the channel if you have not done so already. And I will talk with you in the next video. Take care, Aces. Bye.